Good morning. Good morning. It is 11:33 a.m. July 5th. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Rain out here. Complete rain out. Uh, but it's cool. All right. So things have cooled off. So we'll take that. I think the weather is going to be a little bit kooky here in July. I think we're going to see a lot more storms, and I think we're going to see a lot more rain. Um, all right, that's my prognosis for the weather. All right, I can call that too out if I like. Um, what do I got? I want to go through the ugly, and I'm talking some ugly. All right, uh, some people would say fugly. All right, so ugly it is. I'm going to go through some names here, and I hope you guys got a chance to look at the video I made the other day. Uh, been putting some stuff up on the weekends here, uh, trying to get some looks, trying to get some likes, trying to get some more subscriptions so we can get to that nuts magic number. We can start going live. All right. Help me in any way you can. All right. So what do we got this morning? I'm going to go through some names here, and there's a bunch of different groups in here. All right. So I'll kind of call them out as each goes. All right, and then we'll see. We'll finish this thing off. I'll get this thing and get the heck out of here. All right, so we talked about healthcare. We know that that's pretty strong. We know that the industrials are a little wishy-washy. Even the healthcare still, but she's starting to firm up here real good now on the weeklies. Some have already run away, like Johnson and Johnson, and Medtronic is in the merge of trying to get back up to that 94 number, still cruising. Merck kind of stalled out a little bit on the monthly, so we know that. And we know that also that Merck and Abbott, there's another one that looks like it's got more potential to go to the upside. They're still tied into the Dow Jones as well. All right, so you know that, and you're in more than one group. All right, so let's just get on with it. See what we got. And I'm going to start right here with FIX. FIX is an industrial. All right, nice down monther here, sitting on the low of the month right now after a reversal coming back down. All right, got the 2-2 up and then it puked it all out. So your month got up to, what was that, 1935, somewhere in that area. So right there was the high of your month. 2-2 down because we've only had 2 days. All right, so 2-2 down, and there's your inside month downer on the fix. All right, so fix down $123. That was the biggest loser I could find. I'm sure I could have found more, but I just didn't want to keep looking. Micron, the ugly. All right, coming back down on the 2-2 day, on the 2-2 day back down after the 2-2 up to finish the month, and then they say, no, we're going to go reverse and come back down. This thing's chopping pretty good here right now, until we get some kind of support line. I'm not going after Micron. If I can find something that shows me that there's something significant that we can get in a position, then I will definitely be being enticed to take a look. But for this right now, 2-2 back down after a 2-2 day up. So Rev Strat, that's what we call the Rev Strat, the reverse strategy, the 2-2 back up and the 2-2 back down. Very, very, very common. You're going to see that a lot in the strat. All right, in the strat. All right, so 2-2 down. We don't have anything actionable except for that month now. All right, so that month might start to firm up. We'll see how this next couple days come in here. We know that technology is down pretty good. All right, for the week here. All right, so Micron sitting on the low of the week, and that is a 3-2 downer. All right, so coming off the monthly, surrender on a 2-day up and a 2-2 day back down. All right, AMAT, another one with the 2-2 up and the triangle out. All right, So 2-1-2-2 back up to make the new all-time highs, and boy, they get skittish and they come right back down. They were talking about valuations. All right, valuations are real. They're very real. Pie in the sky. Do I say that a lot? Yeah, I say that a lot. All right. So surrenders the month 2 days in, and there you go. All right. So aim at 2-2 back down. No sign of moving anything here this morning, though. Be interesting to see what tech's going to look like, this week. All right. That's about. So aim at Tesla just kind of like made that move to the on the weekly, and boom, man, got all the way up to 434. I was even kind of almost coaxed into buying some. I just figured I'm like, I gotta wait this thing out, man. We're too early into the month here. All right, so shooter back down on the monthly. There you go. All right, and that was a 4 day up, and then a 2 day to take out 2 3/4 of a day. All right, so back down to 393 with you. I'm still sticking with my numbers, man. They're still lower, so I'm still gonna be. We had a little bit of a support level at that 414 area. Well, we broke through that pretty firmly. All right, so now. From what I'm looking at right here, back down to 368 to triangle out all this day business, and then we get a broadening formation to close it out, and we see, and we look for price. All right, we look for price after that. All right, so Tesla, puker down on the 2 day. 4 day up, 2 day down, and they almost took out three. All right, so Tesla, not good, not good. I'm gonna go with ugly. All right, that is pretty ugly too from where she was. Cat Tractor was down $27 on Friday. 2-2 down on the big guys coming down on your industrials. All right, so Cat goes up and makes the highs at 1073.46, comes inside on the new month. And here we are now, stuck inside after a 2 move up to the upside. All-time highish again, looking for those broadening formations. So the broadening formation for us would be looked for on maybe the weekly and if it starts to break coming in next, if we will have full time frame continuity to the downside now. So what we would be looking for is for this to break the week on the 3 and give us the 3-2-2 down. All right, but we're going to have to get shooters that are going to reconfirm. That's what I talk about in the Discord all day long. That's what we're doing. We're looking for shooters that are coming back down, that are reconfirming the fact that everybody is still selling. All right, we watch the volume and we see what's going on with the volume as well. All right, so we will be looking for that. On Cat, we'll see how she wants to go. She could go, this is coming off all-time highs right here. This to be a 3-2 back down. Now, we have no idea as to where she's going to go, but we can follow the magnitudes is what we really can do. So we would be searching for that one right now, 928.50 to break below there. All right. Cat's been strong, super strong. I mean, crazy strong. Still Cat is business is going to be good for Cat. All right. I just see this is some pullbacks coming back. I swear to God, they're going through rotations like crazy. All right, and they're moving through them fast. All right, so Caterpillar, that's a down day there. I'm going to go over a board here, but I will tell you what group you're in. Marvel down $26.76. Right? Yeah, the 2-2 up and the 2-2 down. Now, triangled out all this business here. Now you wait to see how they're going to start to shape up in the next couple of days. I wouldn't touch any of these things. I would almost go to Wednesday, all right, to get an idea of really what's starting to move with tech. All right, so nice move to the downside coming off there. Again, same thing. You already got the 2 down. All right, so you'll be looking for a shooter to come down and give us more to the downside, telling us that they're starting to tumble a little bit. All right. Now, still got a long ways to go to break that month, and that is going to be 195.12. That is a distance away. All right. So Marvel, nice puker. Nice puker. I got to say that. Here's another one. Glassworks got up to 271 on the last earnings that it had. Just spicy as hell. Stock went up to all-time highs. And then here you got Shooter Down on this week. All right, looking for that to go into force and take the 2-2 back down. I'd love to see it back down to this 163.82 if it can break that. We'll wait to see if it does go into force. We will not know until tomorrow. We might not know until Wednesday. All right, we don't know. We don't know how that's going to play out. All right, but Glassworks, I love it with the 2-1 inside. But there's a ton of time in this month, folks. A ton of time. All right, we're only 2 days in, so it's a little bit. I'm just kind of setting these things up as we start to go into the first real week of the trading week. So we got a little bit of oinkers coming back inside here. Advanced Micro Devices was down $23 on Friday. 2-2 back down after that, 2-2 up. You notice there's a lot of this going on with the 2 up, 2 down, triangle out kind of situation. Couldn't get all the way back down to 495.92. But here we are at 519.50 right now. So we're going to be more than likely we're going to be coming inside day. Again, Shooter down. We're looking to reconfirm with the 3-3 break to the downside. That's what we're looking for. We want these tech stocks to break. All right. And they don't. All right. Buyers always step in. They always do. So you got to be quick on the button when these reversals come, because when they change, they seem like they all come running for them again. But to what level are they going to run? And so we'll see, man. They're a little heavy right now with the month down, all right? But again, it's only the beginning. It's only 2 days. All right, so AMD lower here. GE Nova, how about that one? GEV coming back down on your GEV with the shooter back inside now on the month. Still hanging in there pretty good. 3-1. Give me that 3-1-2. Oh, no, because it's going to be a long time before that's going to change. All right. What we could look for is just for some continuation to the downside on the shooter down that we got on Friday. And now we wait to see what that $1,113 is where it closed. It's trading 11.19, slightly higher there. All right, so GE Nova, there's another one. These are all stocks that crapped out on Friday. Cummins Engines, that is another one coming from the industrials back down. 2-2 down on the week here with the shooter down after the 2-2 up with the puker, took it all out. All right, next stop on the dailies is 629.38. 629.38 would bring us back to here, right here on this low right here. All right, we'll see if we can break that and get some continuation to the downside and see if we can start breaking some of these months. Those are going to be hard to do. All right, so CMI, we'll see about that. Eaton. Eaton is another one, industrial. All right, another industrial. Shooter down on the week. All right, so they had the wherewithal to buy them up early in the week here. Was the 2-1-2 back up. All right, this was the 2-1-2 that triggered that high on there. All right, and then she turns around and pukes it all back out. 399.78 right now, slightly a little bit higher. Wait for Eaton to see what happens there. Industrials, we'll take a look at that, right? XLI, what happened on XLI on Friday? XLI, shooter back down, but hanging in there pretty tough on the month, I got to say. And you got a nice 3-1 cooking here, looking for the 3-1-2, and the diamonds are starting to move, guys. So the diamonds might start just to make this move. It's starting to do it. I mean, what did I say about 53, 54? Well, we're definitely on the way. On 528, 528.26. We're looking, somewhere up in this 530, 540 range. And we'll see what happens there. It's a little bit better if we look at it on the DJI. on the Dow Jones Industrial. I like the bigger number. It's glamorous, and I just love the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 52,903. We are only 80 something, 90 something bucks from 53,000. What did I say? I think at least 55,000 before this party's over. All right, we're still trying to catch up with SPY and Qs. All right, so and there's going to be a stall out, and there's going to be a reversal, and there's going to be crying. Wah, wah. All right. So if you're going to hang in there, be prepared. All right. We got good full time frame continuity right now. All right. This is solid. It's getting harder to break this. All right. But if the SPYs and the Qs and if this tech really starts to get heavy, they're going to start dragging you down. Okay. I mean, if they really start to do something. Okay. So be aware of that. All right. So there, Cummings Engines Eaton. Humana on the healthcare. Healthcare really strong. And then Humana says no, comes all the way back inside on the daily, kind of stopped the rally. Man, this thing was really cooking nicely. And then all of a sudden you get this outside day. It destroys everything. But it gives up the whole month coming back down. This has been a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day upper. And then now you got an outsider here today. So you're going to come inside there, and guess what's going to happen? Everything's going to slow, and you're going to get stuck inside. That's what's going to happen. All right, so we'll see what happens on that outsider there. All right, so Humana coming back down, and in a really, really, really strong group. All right, there's your triple Qs coming down on that 212 daily. Wanted to show you that one coming down too, Pigger. All right, so still coming back down on 212. Stuck firmly inside here on the 2-1 with a lot of time to go. So we'll see about that. EQIX is real estate. These things have bottomed out here a little bit now. They had a really nice climb. Now they're just taking profits on this one. I don't see anything changing here too much. I would actually look for these things to reverse and get back up again. But right now, we got a slide coming down here, so we'll wait on these and see what happens with EQIX. That one is real estate. All right, so Vert is another one, industrial stock coming back down after the 2-2 up with the Puker 2-2 back down. Still stuck inside, as you can see. And I love the shooter coming down, could go into force on the week and then maybe start to push some things to the downside on your industrials. But remember is that XLI looks pretty good, and we know that the diamonds are strong. All right, so those diamonds are going to move down during the day. They're going to drop down 40, 50, 60 cents, but just be confident. You got to be confident that what you're doing and what you're looking at and saying, okay, I'm going to there, and I'm going to take hell or high water to get there. All right, so Vert, there you go. You got that one down, the downer days, all right. Avgo coming back down too. Avgo was another one down $8.89. Crapping down. This is not going anywhere anytime soon, guys. Look at what happened with the 3 here. Nothing happened with the 3 here. What happened with the 3 here? It broke down, and it never made a higher high since then. Right there. Okay? When the 3 triggered down, that was a shooter. Never got back up to a higher high on that one. Avgo still coming down 360.45. 2-2 down on your month here, looking to go 3-2 down. Give me a 3-2-2 back down. Are they really going to start hitting these tech stocks? Hallelujah. We'll see. Let's see. Intel, same way, 111. I'm sticking with my number. All right. Right in here, guys, 110.82. All right. Give me that triangle out, maybe. We'll see how the weather is when we get there. Okay, so I love the outsider coming down on the weekly. Give me the 3-2-2 back down. All right, maybe it's put time for the tech stocks. All right, so keep an eye on those. All right, so Intel, there you go. This I believe is another this is industrials. 3-1 stuck inside, down $1.33. I'm down 1.33%. Not much to talk talk about here. You give me the 2-1-2 week down and break it and start to take this 3 out. What do you say for about that? All right, was trying to fight back on Friday. All right, so keep an eye on that one there. Maybe I wouldn't too much on that one. Qualcomm really kind of cracked out here a little bit. 2-2 down. Give me the 2-1-2 now. You got one job to do, and that's get down to 164.22. So that's what I would be looking for. Come down, hit the magnitude, and then let's see what the weather looks like when it gets there. I love the 3-2. Give me the 3-2-2. Give me another week down. What do you say? We break them down, take out that level at 164.22, and then we went to see we go back against another big outsider. All right, so we'll see there with the Qualcomm. All right, that one's everything down today. Those are all down. All right, Texas Instruments got the outside day today on Friday. Shooter back down on the month now, giving it up, coming back down. You got 274.55. That's a bit of a distance to get there. All right, so watch the week, and the week was actually fighting. All right, the week was doing a little fighting here, so we'll see what this one's going to do. It's going to be inside on the week for sure. And more than likely, you're going to be inside day on that one as well, Texas Instruments. All right, they might just turn around and start running again, but then I wouldn't bite that first rally though either. All right, so Texas Instruments. We'll see what that one's there. Cisco was a friend of mine. I finally broke it and came back down. There was no way I was buying it up at 130 when I was, trading it at 90 and it couldn't move. And now here it is starting to show its real colors again now with the 3-2 down on the weaker. Give me that 2-2 back down. Break this thing down to $98. Did I say $98? I think that's where I'm looking at it at. It might be hard to get there, but we'll see about that one. All right, Cisco, I still don't go chasing these tech stocks. All right, even if they really up big on a Monday, if you grab a couple things, there's going to be some triangling out. That's my thoughts, and that's what I think. Okay, so I can think whatever I want to think. All right, Cisco. Johnson Controls now back in the industrials again with the shooter down off the highs, looking for the broadening formation on a weekly with the shooter down, looking for that to go into force and see if they can break it. Now it still is green, but it is a shooter either way. Okay. All right. So you're in conflict with the month and with the week, and that's a problem. All right. So that was the 2-1-2 back up. I mean, they really did the spoiler here on this day, and then tried to get it going. Buyers tried to get in control, and then they just couldn't hold on to it. So Johnson Control back down there. This one I really like. I love where it's coming from with the 2-2 down on the crew weave. This one got away from me too. I made some money in around this 110, 111 area. When it was coming back up this way, I made some money. And then it crapped out. And here we are now lower than we were. Tells me we probably can go lower here. 2-2 down on the week. I like the way this is setting up. 2-2 down on the month. All right, let's get back down to the lows of the year and see how the weather feels there. I might not get there down to $68, but crew weave coming back down. All right, this is the ugly crew. Dollar is another real estate stock. I love the dailies coming down. All right, really hard week on the DLR with the gap up, gap down here after a Friday that was what was that one? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So this was Monday with the gapper down, couldn't do anything with itself, and now down 173.30 here. All right, 2-1-2-2 back down in the month. Give me another month to the downside on that one. We'll see about those. They got a little carried away. NVIDIA sitting on our 194, sitting on our number 194.44. I almost got to pull that one up. That 194 area right in here. All right. here's where I was at, somewhere in this 190. I was more a little bit closer down here. Around here, 194, 196. Let's call it right here at 194.77. All right, so we broke through that level at 194, and now we look for 164. Okay, that's what I'm looking for now. All right, it's I don't know. It's you got a little bit of a coming down from a higher, coming from a higher down, and then you get this move. It almost looks like a cup. Um, looks a little bit like like a bullish cup and handle, but this 3 day is just this was the really the wild card here right now. With you're more than likely you're going to come inside that one and rot probably. That's what I think will probably happen, and then we'll see if it gets even out on a Monday. I think it might have a hard time with that one. All right, so Nvidia garbage, staying down. Agilent, another healthcare stock that fell apart. Now, granted, majority of the healthcare has really had a nice move to the upside. So a couple are going to cut, and again, this one's tied into the Dow. Agilent isn't, but Merck was definitely in there. All right, so downer day here on the Agilent and on your healthcare on a very strong group. So I will see why there must have been some news out or something on this one, but down on the day triggers the month down. That was a kind of a strange week here. They bought it up to 137.28 and brought it back down and sold it at the lows. Tried to get it going the next day, and then the shooter comes back down. That goes hammer up, goes shooter, and what happens? Nothing happens really. All right, she comes in, it didn't make a lower low, so it didn't nothing happen. All right, so we got to break that low there at 129.75. Then maybe we got some action going back to the downside. We'll see about that. Roblox. I like to say that 55 is a good spot, but I don't want to like hang my hat on it that much. It's just like it can't it's not going to get this weekly here at 63.99. It's going to take a real good push, and now all of a sudden XLC, um, it's kind of got it's the satellite stocks are down. Meta is trying to get its act together. Meta, where are you, Meta? I got the Mets on there. Meta, Daryl Strawberry. Shooter back down on the week, giving it up. Inside on the month, down, day downer. All right, XLC Communications. I think Netflix wants to go higher. Look, it had a great day there. I've been talking about that one too. All right. Now you got a really nice hammer on the week here. Netflix just might go, even with Meta and all the other pressures that are going on. Maybe a little bit better than on Netflix, but I don't see her ripping to the upside either. I'm not getting too crazy with it because it's going to take some work to get to 87.52 on that week. All right, but Netflix, not just not such a good day. AME. Here's another one. Ametek is definitely an industrial stock. 2-2 down, broke so the 2 day down, the 3-2 down, broke the month. Come back inside. You got a shooter coming down on the week. We'll see if that goes into force, if anything moves there. AME. PNC Financial. There's only a few, I got to say. Financials are pretty strong. I got some of these guys are coming in here. If anything, some of these financial stocks, like Visa and Mastercard are moving right now. I look those two stocks you want to be in right now. Visa and Mastercard are moving up nice. All right. I don't see rates going higher, and I don't see rates going lower either. So I think we're just kind of staying where we watch that 10-year. All right, so PNC comes down here, still holding up pretty nicely on the month here with the 2 day up. All right, so this was it. This is our first 2 days of the week. So come back inside. We'll see about that one. PNC Financial. but that one was down pretty good. It was down over, down $2. CCJ, these guys are all lower right now on these Oklahomas and your nuclears and these things. Remember, this trade is out to 2031, 2032. All right, so not anytime soon, man. But I would like to, if anything, I kind of follow the Oklahoma a little bit, starting to break again here. But it's just so much time. I would like to break this thing in a month and bring it back down to the low of the year at the $43. I wouldn't even buy it. I wouldn't even buy it in the 50s. I'd be more inclined to look to this thing to just break the year out. $45. See where she wants to go from there, and then maybe we'll think about it. But the whole group, though, is a little bit lower, except for Constellation Energy Group, and I think they had earnings. All right, so CEG is a little bit better here. Still, Shooter came down on the day, so it had a nice day moving on the inside, but it's still inside. You got an actionable coming in with a one inside day tomorrow. Trying to get the month going up on the hammer here. See what I'm saying on the weekly here and the monthly? Nothing there. Nothing there, folks. Nothing for us to go running after. And then UEC is in that group here. If you like that one a little bit, that one's crapping out as well. And then SMR, Summer doing nothing either here, coming back down 985. All right, so nuclears, and they're tied into utilities. I think the utilities are pretty good. I'm going to talk to you about mineral. I'll talk to you about utilities tomorrow. That group is actually getting a little bit better, but there's a lot of pieces that are still kind of broken in that group too. SMR. Fifth Third Bancorp was one of the banks that were down inside the day on Friday. I think that the banks are good. I like this 2-1 inside. I look for the 2-1-2 up to keep this month going. All right. This one's up pretty nice here, up near the highs like everyone else. Financials are good right now. All right. They're firming up. They're firming up pretty good. All right. So we'll see what happens. Watch that Goldman Sachs and watch that J.P. Morgan and Bank of America. They're all moving up incrementally right now. And you see Robinhood is leading the charge, man. That thing just doesn't stop. I'm back to 112 here. I was up 3.76%, and guess what? It puked it all out at the end of the day. All right. So Robinhood, we'll see about that one too. All right. Warner Brothers Discovery, nothing here. It was a down day. It's trending down on the year. Just not doing anything here. All right, chop. Nothing to talk about. All right, Ford took a hit. 3 down on the day on Ford, back down to 1336. 212 on the month. There might be some more room for the downside on Ford. All right, we'll see what happens on that one. I didn't really look at any of the other ones. General Motors is down as well too. So trying to hammer back up on the month here a little bit with the week. Just been coming down real hard on this one too. All right, look at the weeks coming down. So we wait and see. I like the way that's setting up, but I think we need some more downside before that happens. General Motors. All right, I got to wrap this up. UEC is one of the ones I talked about. And Constellation Energy I talked about, and that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to finish with the diamonds. All right, diamonds strong. That's strong. Okay, so I think that the best group. All right, I think the best group that we got right now, and I don't want to say it out loud, but it probably is XLV right now in healthcare. All right, not for the month, but for the week. Okay, I'm going to get something up here so I can take a look. All right, and I'll tell you what I think here coming in the week with our with our Dow. All right, on the groups here, guys. On the groups. All right, so on Friday, our best stocks were moving. Right, it was healthcare, And then it was the favorite group that I love of all is XLP. Okay, Staples. It's Staples are going to go higher. And guess what? They're going to triangle out. All right. So the consumer defense is better. And I got a new group that's starting to look kind of sexy. And I'm actually going to bring this chart up so you can see it. Hold on here 1 second. I'm going to take this screen down. And I'm going to bring another one up here. All right. What do we have here? Where you at? Okay. Okay. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. I think you guys can see that. I believe you can. My my first two are kind of blocked out. So I'll go over those again. Um, all right. So where you can see, we're starting with silver here. All right. Silver's been coming down really, really good here on silver. These are just weeklies, guys. Just week, and I'm not going to look at any other time frame. Love the way it's coming down. It's firming up inside here. All right. After a nice move to the downside. All right. Um, there's probably going to be a triangle out. That's the way it's going to be. All right. GDX. But you kind of you can if you can get it right in the week, then you're in a much better shop. All right, much better place. All right, so GDX with the one inside cooking there, cooking the one inside on silver, and then GDX. These are metals. All right, this is the XLB group. All right, hammer up on the Newmont Mining. Newmont Mining coming back up here. All right, looks like the metals are starting to wake up again here. All right, GFI. I'm going down to this corner here. This one has already taken week up. All right, so that is a 2-2 up on the week, and we'll see if that one can get some continuation to the upside. Our next magnitude would be 3674. Eco Labs is still in that same group here. Eco Labs materials like IFF, anything that has to do with like chemicals and cleaning stuff like that, and materials, metals. Um, just like Vulcan materials and anything that's tied in the for industry for the most part. All right, so Ecolabs cooking a really nice one here with the 2-1 on the 3-1 on the week, looking to take that back up on Ecolabs. iPaper cooking the 2-1 inside. These are weeklies again now. 2-1 on iPaper. I got DuPont. I talked about DuPont. There's a 2-2 in there. And you got Avery Dennison looking for the 3-2 to take up on that group. All right. So let me go change over to this one here, and you can see the gold. All right. See, now you see the gold. Look at the heavy the down move on the gold here. Loving this right now. It's already start. Man, I wanted to buy some at 369. Then I'm like, if I buy it, it's just going to get triangled out anyway. So I waited. So this looks a lot better to me now with these 2-1 weeks. All right, they're going to be a little timid in the beginning. All right, they might just make a move up and they might just fuzz out. But we're going to see how the months start to look. Okay, that's what's going to make the difference, and we'll talk about them as we go during the week. All right. So there you go. Right, you got some nice ones here. Gold. And then what was the other one that I didn't give you? I didn't give you XLB itself. XLB got a beautiful Momo hammer on the week here, coming back upside, 52.20. Then you move up to 53.28. This is nice. Your month is green right now. I've gone through all of them. All right. So those three groups right now, I'm talking healthcare, I'm talking defensive, I'm talking materials, and I kind of like the utilities. I think that group might be able to sneak back in there. I wouldn't be surprised if those real estates turned around and started coming back up. And things that are really down and out and not trying to even get up is energy. All right, energy is still staying down across the board here. Now, when I look at it for the week, communication services were in that group, but they fell apart in the last couple of days. I talked about that Netflix. Maybe that thing can move. Maybe you can pick a couple out of there. Roblox, I think, she's gonna have to. She has a waiting period right now. She's in the doctor's office waiting forever. All right, so I would wait there on that one as well. All right, but healthcare, consumer defensive, materials. I think financials for sure they were up a little over 1%. Healthcare on Friday was up over 2.8%, so they'll probably take a little bit of a breather. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw these defensive pulls back a little bit on your XLPs. All right, Walmart made a nice move. We'll see if that can get continuation. We're watching that Casey's General Store. We're watching that Costco. I'm looking at those discretionaries. They get going and then they spin around. So that's it. That's all I got. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it here. All right. So everybody, back to work tomorrow. All right. Everybody have a good day and go ahead and be good.